In this video, I'm going to show you my secret formula for manifestation. This is something that I finally decide to really share, and it's something that I think will change your life if you begin to apply it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the secret formula that I use for manifestation. It's something that has a couple personal development ideas in it. In a way, it's like a formula that I use when I know if I'm not getting the result that I want in my life. It's because I'm not applying one of the characteristics, one of the aspects of this formula that I'm about to share with you. And that's what's causing me to not experience what I want. Now, the first thing I want to say is this has to do with understanding our self-image, because the self-image, the way that you see yourself, the way you see yourself is projected out to other people. And then that self-projection, normally people do it unconsciously, but that projection is then having certain people come into your life. It's having certain people react and respond to you a certain way in your life. And it's bringing to you certain opportunities into your life based on the vibrational resonance of you at the being level of your self-image. Now, I'm going to explain more about that, but self-image is everything when it comes to this process. But it's kind of ironic too, because if you want to transform your life, you have to transform your self-image, and you have to let go of the old image that you had to then envelop more of the energy of who you are. Because this is the key. When it comes to self-image, you'll never really embody the best, perfect self-image of who you really are, because at your core, you are an eternal spiritual being having a temporary human experience. So as you're trucking along right now, whoever you are right now, what happens is you will eventually transform that. If you're making, say you subconsciously see yourself as able to make $50,000 a year, you subconsciously see yourself in a certain type of relationship, you subconsciously see yourself having a certain type of friends in your life, certain type of dynamic with your family. Well, once you let that old self-image go and you start to be from the being level in a higher vibrational state, what you'll find is that then people start to respond to you differently, as long as you remain at your core, as long as you remain consistent with that. Because most of our self-image has been built, we're unaware of it, and it's just been running our life over and over and over again, and it's completely on autopilot. But when you change what you are emitting out, you then begin to change the outer reality. See, what most people do is they try to change the mirror itself. Reality is a mirror. They focus on external things. There is no external thing. There is nothing really external. There are things that we think are external, but if you were to expand the scope of your life, like imagine there's a scope on this camera right now. Imagine that I went like this, and then it zoomed out like this. And you could see more of the picture, which you really can't see, but you could see more of me at least. Like imagine I'm all the way up here, you can't see all of me, but now you can see all of me because we've expanded the scope out. Well, in our life, it's a very similar way. If you were to be here right now and you were to expand the scope, you could then see more of my environment. You expand the scope even more, you then see all of, let's say, Las Vegas. Then you expand the scope more. Then you can see all of the United States. Then even more, you can see all of the world. Then you notice that the world is one being. You see, we all right now, in reality, are running around thinking we're all different, separate, fragmented people, fragmented souls. We're all connected. And because we're all connected, what we subconsciously put out is projected out to us. And when we go out to the external world trying to change things, we're doing it backwards. The key is understanding that the way you subconsciously see yourself, that way is running your life, and people are responding to you based on that projection, that self-image that you have. It's just that most people aren't even aware of their self-image. You say, what's your self-image? What do you mean? Like, who am I? No, how do you see yourself? What are you subconsciously projecting out? Maybe even there's certain shadow sides of your self-image. Recently, I've becoming more aware of my shadow aspects of myself, like certain parts of myself that maybe just in a way have been built up over time. There are certain things I noticed in my parents that I've acquired some of their characteristics, and that's caused me to be a certain way. And now I'm starting to become aware of it, and I'm starting to transform it. So our self-image is what runs our life, whether we're aware of it or not. And what I want to share with you, the formula I want to share with you, in a way, it's sort of like act as if. Act as if, but you act as if not from the ego's construct of the ego, like this is how I prefer to be, this is how I prefer to act, because if I act this way, then I get this certain type of results. It's more so looking at act as if from the being level. Now, the being level is when you do things for the sake of doing things. Most people are doing things to then get them somewhere that they currently aren't. If I do all of these things, if I do and put myself out here, get out of my comfort zone, then eventually I can be all the way over here. That can be powerful, but if you were to let go of the reasoning of everything, and instead of just doing things because they'll get you somewhere else, if you were just to do things for the sake of doing them, you start to be in a higher frequency state because you are more present to the moment. You aren't trying to escape the present moment to get somewhere that you currently aren't. So think about that. Me making a video right now, am I making a video? If I were to make this video right now because I would see the number and feel the number of subscribers would increase on my channel, and because of all of these things of what it will eventually get me, it's not as powerful as me making the video because I want to make the video. It's an end of itself. I'm making the video because this is who I am. It's at the being level. You make a video because it's who you are. I go to the gym because it's who I am. I love to work out. I love to push myself. That's just who I am. See, it's more powerful than I'm going to the gym because I'm going to lose weight. That means that eventually I won't go to the gym because it's not who I am. It's just something I'm presently doing. I eat healthy food because it's who I am. Yes, I might have a cheat meal every now and then or something like that. But in general, I eat healthy because it's who I am. It's the being level that is powerful. Now, you wire in the being level by acknowledging there's this story that you currently tell yourself, and then you can imagine the story of the best version of you doing exactly what you want to be doing for a living in a certain way. There's this gap between these two stories. Now, the key is to bridge that gap by realizing the old story is just an autopilot story anyways. It's a story that you've been telling yourself for many, many years. At a certain point in your past, you decided this is the way I am, so this is the way reality is. This is the way people treat me. This is who I am and how I relate to everyone else. It's all an autopilot. If it's an outdated agreement, you can choose to let it go by being aware of it and then letting it go and then wiring in a way of being, not an ego that gets you something more, an ego that's a little bit more developed, but the being level is you being at your core, you being in the high vibrational state that you prefer to be in. You see, there's a difference there because the being level is more about vibrational resonance to your soul. And there's one other aspect to this formula, so I'm going to share the whole formula with you in a minute. But when you get to the being level, that's where things really begin to happen because you are in your core frequency. For me, I started making daily videos on YouTube because I knew it was who I was. Yes, it was a little bit uncomfortable at first because I'm not used to being in front of a camera, but I knew that this was an expression of myself that I was very much going to enjoy. Now, when my life changed before, as I've told the story many times, from a 9-to-5 job working at Barney's, New York, which I just found out that company went bankrupt. So all the old people I used to, it's funny timing of how certain things happen. But what's going to happen is, and what did happen in 2017 is I decided I'm going to make a video a day no matter what until I don't have to work here anymore, until I'm doing what I love. I treated my side hustle as my full-time before it was my full-time because I knew that if I got into the vibrational resonance of it, it would eventually be my reality. The outer reality is a reflection of your inner reality. And I linked up my inner reality with making a video a day, with adding value to people, with putting out so much energy that I knew eventually, within 1 or 2 weeks, nothing great happened. But the consistency of that is what then caused it to ripple out. And then eventually, that's when I was able to get rid of the job and just do that full time. But you want to know what was more powerful about that choice that I made? It was my self-image. I changed my self-image. I also started to see myself as somebody that was an action taker. I never saw myself as an action taker. I was always the person that's like, oh, I'm going to manifest it by sitting on the couch. I was going to work every day. Like, one day I'm going to meet Tony Robbins. I'm going to meet all these big speakers. They're going to see potential in me. They're going to give me and put me on, give me an opportunity. But then eventually I said, you know what? I'm not waiting around anymore. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna become this person. I'm gonna transform myself into this person. I changed my self-image and then acted as if that was that version of me. What would the full-time YouTuber Aaron look like? That's what I said to myself. What would I be doing? I'd be making daily videos. Why am I not making daily videos? Because I told myself a story that I had a 40 hours a week job that I had to go to. So I said, well, I don't have time for the other 20, 30 hours a week to be making YouTube videos. But then I realized that that was a story I was telling myself. And then I realized that there are a lot of people that have had to go through a transition of a couple months of putting in a lot of work without much of a reflection. And I said, no matter what, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what transformed my self-image, is that one choice. So when I share what this is, this formula is about being in your ideal self-image, being in your self-image. You can say act as if, that's the first part of the formula. Act as if from the being level. So act as if from the being level. What do you love doing? Maybe it's you creating art. Maybe it's you making social media content. Maybe it's you having a blog, having a podcast. What are you passionate about? Do that thing every single day. This is imperative. Do it every single day. Because in a 24-hour period, you have a certain vibration going on. Then you go to bed, you wake up, you have another 24-hour period. These begin to mesh together because time is going by so fast. If you be and are in that frequency every day, it compounds over time. So act as if, be as if, daily. In your 24-hour period, do it every single day. I don't care what it is. You say, I can't make art every day. That's so much work. First off, that's a story you're telling yourself. Secondly, I don't say, it's not like you have to make a whole art piece every day. Maybe you just add to it every day. You see, there's activities and outcomes, things that you can focus on every day that will get you there. Now, here's the thing. Here's the game changer to manifestation that I share sometimes, but you have no idea how powerful it is. Decrease importance. If you put your goals on a pedestal and you think that it's going to be this amazing thing once you finally achieve your goals, then what you do is you separate yourself vibrationally from that goal, and then it is unattainable. You then have to resist to get there. The key is that then what people do is they take action, and then they normally will lessen that importance because they start to see it as a part of who they are. But the key to this is to lessen the importance by seeing it as natural for you to achieve what you want. I saw myself as natural for me to make daily videos on YouTube. It wasn't this big deal like, oh my gosh, I got to get up today and make a video, then go to work and all this stuff. No, it was just a part of who I was. Just like people that consistently go to the gym, they don't have to try to go to the gym. It's an autopilot. It is who they are. It is at the being level. So in the same way for you, what you can begin to do is to change your self-image at the being level by acting as if, but more so being as if at your core vibration, doing things because it's who you are, not because it gets you anywhere. Doing things because it's your core vibrational preference. And do that in a 24-hour-a-day period. Every single day, do your passion, because over time, that vibration will compound. If you master the 24 hours of your day, you will master your life, because that 24 hours of your day just keeps repeating itself. Most people are on Groundhog's Day. They experience the same days over and over and over and over and over again. I used to have a job that I went to over and over and over again, and every single day we'd have the same conversations. I talked to the same people. I'd have similar conversations with customers. Leo and I were at a restaurant the other day, and the waitress comes up to us, and she gives us this whole spiel with the kind of food that they're serving. She talks about her favorite drinks, even though, we don't drink, or, we weren't drinking that night at least, and all of these things. And then right after she helped us, she's really nice. This is in Santa Barbara. Right after that, she goes over to another table, and she gives them the same exact spiel with the same exact tonality, with the same exact, everything. It was like a rehearsed thing that she's obviously said thousands of times. It's just on autopilot. Nothing wrong with it, but it's just something, it's just going to get the same results it's always gotten. Maybe It's nothing against her. She was really nice. But I'm just saying, like, I recognize the repetition of everything. It was the same with me. I remember I used to help people with shoes. I would help them. I'd have a similar conversation. I'd make a similar type joke. I'd be ringing them up and I'd say similar type little funny things, or it was just a repetitive type thing. Wake up. Wake up from the autopilot mind and start to be as if. Don't act as if, be as if. And understanding the more you are being in your core vibration, the more your life will begin to change. Do that thing every single day. Make it a commitment that in your 24 hours a day, you're going to do that, and then lessen importance. Lessen importance by recognizing that you're good either way. Whether you're in your old self-image, whether you're in your new self-image, you're good either way. And then as you begin to lessen your importance around it by just knowing that you're good either way, you begin to lessen the resistance around it. And you're not then projecting things into the future. Decreasing importance is also about really projecting yourself to somewhere else. If you just be as if, you solve this problem, because then you're being in the present moment. So the process, this formula, be as if, do it 24 hours in a day, not for the whole 24 hours obviously, but make sure in your 24 hours that you're doing that and you're pushing yourself. And then minus. So be as if plus every single day minus importance. Be as if in your 24 hours a day, do it every single day minus importance by knowing you're good either way. See yourself as just you're good, and see it as natural for you to experience these things. When it's a part of your self-image, when your self-image isn't already linked up, you see that version of you. You don't think that's already you. You're like, oh, that version of me is all the way up there doing the really cool things. But if you lessen importance, you realize that it can be natural for you to be like that. And I'll tell you this from experience. Every single time you transform your self-image, when you get there, it's not like this static thing of, oh my, I remember I thought when I got first attained 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, oh my God, it's going to feel amazing. It's going to be phenomenal, blah, 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 blah. Eventually, between 80,000 or 100, it didn't feel any different. I remember waking up one day, I had a video that started to go viral. And as it started to go viral, I went from 97,000 subs to about 101,000 in one day. I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, it happened. I was gonna make this big video for it, but it was like already happened. And I went to the gym and I was like, this is pretty natural. This is pretty much the same. Anytime you achieve your goals, you think it's gonna be this amazing thing. And it may be for a period of time, but that's why it's more about wiring it into who you are. It's natural. And even now, there's like a goal in my mind of of a certain number, but I'm realizing it really doesn't mean that much. I'm doing what I love. I'm expressing myself, and that's all that really matters. So being as if, 24 hours in a day, minus importance, that's the formula that I think will change your life if you begin to apply it. If you would like as well, something that I do have is, I have something that is called the Law of Attraction Accelerator. It is something that I made with another YouTuber who has the channel Your Universe. Her name is Jessica. Many of you may know her YouTube channel. She has a PhD, and she's somebody that I teamed up with to make a course called the Law of Attraction Accelerator that helps you to transform your self-image. It's a very powerful course that has different visualization practices in it, different techniques for reprogramming your subconscious self-image, and we show you exactly how to do that to wire in a new one. So what I'm going to do right now as well is there's going to be a link in the top description box below. There's going to be a code in there as well so that you can join and get a good deal on it. We're going to have that going live right now. So if you see this video, you can click there and join the Law of Attraction Accelerator program, transform your self-image. You'll see more about it when you click on it as well. Other than that, I want to thank you for being here. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell so that you can see the daily videos that I do on this channel. And that's the way YouTube does it now, is you actually have to hit that button to see the daily vids. Other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.